Treyarch are officially fixing Liberty Falls and Black Ops 6 zombies. This is no joke, this is no clickbait. Treyarch have actually listened to all of the feedback and criticism from the COD Next reveal of Liberty Falls, and they are fundamentally changing Liberty Falls as well as elements of Black Ops 6 zombies to be tailored more to what people have asked for. I know a ton of you are going to be extremely happy with this news, and this was all revealed on the latest episode of the COD pod. So let's just dive into all of the details, but it goes to show that if you, the community, make enough noise when it comes to your feedback and criticism about the game, that things can actually be changed before the game releases. So specifically on Liberty Falls, what we learn is that the Liberty Falls map that we saw at Call of Duty Next was a work in progress version. Specifically, the version of Liberty Falls that was shown at COD Next was a couple of months out of date from the version that they had currently got up to in development. Now, this is very typical when it comes to showcasing any portion of a game that is still in active development, rather than showing a version of the game in its latest version that could still contain bugs, glitches, visual aspects that aren't finished. It's a lot easier and simpler to show a more refined and older version where all of those issues are resolved, so you can at least showcase it in its most stable form. And since its reveal at COD Next, the Zombies team have been actively continuing to iterate on Liberty Falls, where the visual tone and look and feel of the map are now a bit moodier than what people saw at Call of Duty Next. Now, we don't have any actual visual imagery or video yet of this newer version of Liberty Falls, but they have specified that we will be learning more in a upcoming blog post, which I assume will be at some point either next week or the week after, where we're likely to actually get to see what the more updated visual version of Liberty Falls will look like. Most of the criticisms so far have been that the map just simply has no aura. It just looks like a generic town where nothing about it seems zombified. So when it comes to the feel, look, and tone being moodier, I expect it to be a bit more darker, a bit more grittier, but it gets even better because there's also atmospheric elements to the map that we did not see at Call of Duty Next, and that was all tied to the fact that the Easter eggs and the main quests were disabled, which means that the Liberty Falls map does have atmospheric elements that change, but because the Easter eggs weren't enabled that enabled that to happen, that wasn't something that we got to see. But this confirms that the atmosphere on Liberty Falls can and will change at different moments, which could symbolize that whilst we're going through the main Easter egg quest, certain steps could transform the map entirely. We also know that from the big mini map that we got to see, if you press the back button and go look over at the TAC map, you can see there are certain elements of the map that are not actually displayed, such as a teleporter, which is obviously going to take you to a different portion of the map. This right here could be what they mean by atmospheric elements that we didn't get to see because they were disabled, but I also believe that this could be tied to the actual visuals of the map, such as the skybox potentially changing or having different elements. Some feedback that people gave were some really good ideas where as you're playing, the sun might set to show a progress in time, and the fact that this zombies apocalypse has just started in Liberty Falls, but as you're playing more and more, the actual time of day is going to change. Things are going to get a bit creepier and a bit darker, and with the idea of it being a bit more moodier, that could tie in really well. But I want to know down below in the comment section what you think they mean by specifics of the visual tone, look, and feel being a bit moodier. But that is fantastic. The criticism was that the map simply didn't look like zombies, it looked like a multiplayer map, and Treyarch have actually gone, listened to that feedback, and they have actively updated the visuals of the map, which I think is a massive W. And again, it shows that if you are very vocal with your feedback, but be respectful with that feedback, then there is a great chance that things can change. And this has to go on record as some of the most significant changes that Treyarch has made to a game before they've actually released it, which is crazy because it seemed very unlikely that Liberty Falls was actually going to get any significant changes between now and release, especially when you consider that whilst it's a 2-month gap from COD Next to the release of the game, some may assume that that is just not enough time for them to actually make any meaningful changes, but they are doing it, which is a massive W. And if you guys are happy, please let me know your thoughts, drop a thumbs up on the video. I do think though that if they were very clear when showing Liberty Falls off at COD Next, that they let everyone know that the version that they were showing is a few months out of date and there are significant parts of the map that are disabled, I think maybe the reaction may have been a lot more calmer than what we actually saw. But it gets even better because Activision have also clarified that a few of the HUD elements in Zombies are also getting touched up based on feedback, and official details on these changes will be shared soon ahead of Black Ops 6's launch. And that is another massive talking point since the reveal that everyone's wanted to see changes, and I can't believe they're actually changing it as well, which is incredible. Again, we don't know exactly what the HUD elements are, but hopefully they will do enough for it to distinctly look like a Zombies HUD, because at its current state, it looks too similar to the multiplayer HUD. There isn't anything that really stands out to significantly show that it's a Zombies HUD that you're seeing. In my feedback after playing the game, I also mentioned some of the HUD elements just didn't feel very Zombies, and by that I mean the Gobblegum HUD in the bottom right, but also when you pop a Gobblegum, there's just a weird text box that just feels a little soulless. It doesn't really feel like Zombies, and it also doesn't explain what the Gobblegum effect actually does, and I think that's something which is a downgrade from the way it was implemented in Black Ops 3 visually. So if that's one of the HUD elements that's changed as well, I think that'll be really good. But overall, just something that makes it look a lot more zombified, but also doesn't make the HUD so cluttered, will be a massive W. But on top of that, they've also confirmed that again, the next round-based zombies map, the first DLC map, will be coming out before the end of the year, so as part of season 1, which is really big. Like, again, that shows that they are really all in on round-based zombies this year. And they've also confirmed that zombies will have more support for in-game events compared to previous zombies experiences. And this is something that I've had a little bit of a gripe with over the last year with Modern Warfare 3 zombies, because some seasons that have been completely themed around zombies have had no events tied to zombies mode in the game, even though the whole season was themed around zombies. And that might be to do with the fact that Treyarch created the mode, but they don't own the actual full Modern Warfare 3 game, but this time they own the entire game. But I always believe that if there are seasonal events, in-game challenges that require you to do stuff within multiplayer and Warzone, there should always be the option for you to also complete it in zombies, because that's also 1/3 of the game. It never made sense to me that some parts of the game you couldn't unlock challenges and in-game items and events without being able to do them in zombies. It's never made sense. But I hope this also means that zombies will get its own unique in-game events, which I think would be awesome. I think Treyarch tried to do that with Black Ops 4 zombies, where they had the addition of face paints really early on, but then that just completely fell off the face of the earth. The idea of callings and there being daily, weekly, and yearly engagement for Black Ops 4 zombies, where you'd always be coming back to complete something, unlock something, that's never really materialized in a zombies game. And hopefully this will be the game where they really try and have that support for more in-game events. You're always coming back to be doing something new in zombies, as I feel that is something that is a little bit of an issue after a while. You've completed everything, you've done the Easter egg, you've done all the side Easter eggs, there's something really else to do. But if they continuously add support for more in-game events, that would be really cool. I wonder if that could also possibly reflect in the idea of certain round-based maps getting subtle updates. I did mention that in the last COD pod as a question, and what exactly that would look like, but I referred to that question more as where Modern Warfare zombies had, you know, frequent updates where new parts were added to the big map. Could that be possible in round-based zombies? Is that potentially what they also mean by more support for in-game events? Who really knows? There could be like a Christmas event where, again, like we've seen with D Machine, but maybe there's even more stuff added that completely changes up the map entirely and adding a brand new element for a certain amount of time. And they also confirmed that Kevin Sherwood is composing new songs for the Black Ops 6 Zombies Easter eggs, and that 2 of his songs will be available at launch, 1 inside of each zombies map, which is absolute music to my ears. Of course, he was missing for quite a lot of the Cold War zombies maps. He only really made this, I think, for D Machine, and that was about it, but he's back and it sounds like he's going to be here for all of the zombies maps. And again, zombies just doesn't really feel right if you don't have a Kevin Sherwood song to accompany it. It just doesn't make sense, and it's almost like a warm hug going into a new zombies map and knowing that there is an absolute banger waiting for you to discover that Kevin Sherwood has written. But very exciting stuff, and it sounds like we'll be getting a massive blog post about all of the things changing in zombies really soon. So to make sure you don't miss out on that, hit that subscribe button down below, drop a thumbs up, and let me know your thoughts on all of these changes in the comments, as I'd be really intrigued to see what sort of changes they're making, and if you guys have any other feedback on what you think part of these changes could be and what you'd want them to be.